Hey everybody, welcome to Ken Knows Gambling, and this is part 2 of my 3-part series on Texas Hold'em. And today we're going to talk about no limit and tournament play, which is no limit, and how to bet that, what to do, that sort of thing. And then tomorrow, or whenever I do my part 3, we're going to talk about tells. Okay, so the first video that I did was about the cash game 1, 2, 2, 4, 3, 6, up to 5, 10. And I did have one of my subscribers, real quick, he wanted me to explain the rake. And can is the rake going to hurt you or whatnot? The answer is no, it's not. It depends on the casino itself. Most of it's between 2% and 10%. And on a cash game, up to $5, $10, they usually cap it out at $5 if the hand flops. If it don't, they usually don't take anything. But all these casinos will have their different little percentages on their take. But generally 2 to 10% of the pot, up to about $5 in a small limit cash game. Okay, there's nothing you can do about it. That has nothing to do with any house edge. There's no house edge on Hold'em. That's just how they have to make money, and it's the cost of doing business for playing Hold'em. The end. So don't worry about the rake. All right, they're not going to break you or anything like that. All right, so today we're talking no limit and we're talking tournaments. And here's the thing. Whoops, I dropped my card, y'all. Give me a second. Oh, shit. Ugh. All right. As I told you yesterday, I don't like no limit. Okay? I do not like no limit. When you're on a no limit game, man, they can put you for all your chips. And even on a decent hand, you can get beat. So I don't even suggest you guys play in no-limit games. But if you do, now it's about bankroll. Because with a smaller bankroll, I mean, you guys have seen, the Poker Stars, the tournament. And when somebody has 2 or 3 million chips and the other guy only has $300,000 or $400,000, the guy with all the money just leans on that little guy, and eventually they take him. So if you're going to do no limit, man, you got to come in with some money for no limit. Now there's a difference between a no limit cash game and a tournament. Okay, tournaments are way, 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 way different. You can go into a $50 tournament, a $100 tournament, where if you get wiped out or if you get beat, you don't make it to the final table, you lost $50 or $100 or $200 or whatever it is, whatever the amount of that tournament, and you might buy it for $50 or $100, and they give you $15,000 in chips, and then you play. They play it for a time limit. All the people now that all in and got beat, they're gone, and then they keep whittling the tables down. They might start with 10 tables, and then 9, 8, and it all goes down to that final table. When you get into the final table on one of these tournaments, that's usually where you cash. You can cash, and you can make more than what your entry fee was. It's all about getting to the table. But anyway, we'll talk about that here in just a second. We're going to first go with no limit. I said yesterday that on these little cash games, I'm not even worried about this dealer because the guy to the right of the dealer is the hammer. What do I mean by that? All right, so there's the dealer. I'm sitting over here. There's your small blind, and let's just say, I'll just use green chips because it doesn't matter. Let's say it's a 1-2 table. Small blind does $1, 1 unit, and the big blind does 2 units, okay? Then it goes to this guy, okay? There's the bet, there's the raise. This guy either has to call this $2 or raise it or fold. But notice, if you will, where he's at. He's here. This is to say the dealer, and I'm to the right of that dealer. I get to watch everybody fold, raise. I get to watch everybody's decision, and then I get the final decision. They call that a power seat. I am in the hammer seat right there. Because now watch, especially when you're in no limit, or tournaments, you got to play differently. And so if this guy says call, 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 out, fold, fold, I might be able to just go, okay, I'm going to raise you just to see where everybody else is at. Okay? These guys may have really mediocre to shit hands, but because I was the last one to make a decision, if I raise you even on a bad hand, you don't know that, then you may think, well, hell, mine's not good enough, and then you fold. That's what this guy, right to the right of the dealer, really wants. Whatever move he makes, he really wants people to drop out, or he can suck people in, okay? He could just limp in or just call or whatnot and play it off as he don't have nothing either when he may have one hell of a hand. So he's going to either use his position to drive people away so they can't get lucky and they can't do a river rat on him, or he's going to use his spot to suck people in to his hand, okay? This is a very important spot when you're playing no limit or tournament play. You're going to have to learn how to use the positioning. Okay? So, who has really the worst position? This first guy. Right here. He first of all has to call or fold this raise right here from the big blind. Well, if he's got shitty hands, it's just, they usually just muck him. He's looking at I don't know, Queen 7 or something like that. He's the first guy. It's almost like the blackjack in the dealer. You got to make a decision first. Okay? Well, if he stays in on a shit hand, and then he raises it, and then he raises it, he's like, what the hell did I even stay in for? So this is not the advantageous position. The first one after the big blind. It's the guy next to the dealer is the advantageous decisions. And you guys, if you play this way, you're going to have to learn how to use those positions. Now, the cash game that we talked about yesterday, I don't care. I give you what I want you to stay on. All the different things you can stay on and everything else, just get out. I don't care where it goes, because now you're just going to play tight. And then when you have it, you swing. Well, when you get into no limit, man, you now have to be careful, because in the cash games, you're going to get, Joe the Plumbers and Weekend Warriors, and they play a little bit looser and whatnot. When you get into no limit or high stakes tournaments, yeah, you're still going to have some people there that don't know what they're doing. But more often than not, when you have to buy in for a couple $1,000s of your own money, now everything is different. Everything becomes different. You're not bringing in $100. You're bringing in, $2, $3, $5 grand that somebody could go all in, even if you sit there and got aces, and you're sitting there and go, this guy all into me. And even with a pocket aces, you're like, damn, man, if these aces don't hold up, I'm going to lose $10,000 because I have to, go all in. It takes more guts. It takes more fortitude, man. I mean, it's so easy to get rattled with no limit. So I don't advise anybody playing no limit unless they're playing a tournament that you only put in $50 or $100 to get into the tournament. Then it doesn't matter anymore. Okay? But if you're going to play it, then you still can play tight. You still can play like you do in the cash game. It's just the way you play is going to have to be different. Okay? Tails mean something now. And again, I can't wait till the next video so I can talk about tails. Because if they read you, man, you're in trouble. These boys and girls playing no limit games have skill, man. Okay? So as much as I would want to just teach you how to bet no limit, I would rather you didn't. Okay. The next thing that you're going to have to get down is your cadence. Okay, this sort of goes into tells, but you're going to have to do everything exactly the same. You can't have any tells. Okay, you're worried about other people's tells, but now you can't have any. Okay, so you're going to have to do everything exactly the same. Exactly the same, time and time again. How long does it take you to make a bet? How long does it take you to fold? Because that reading each other is really, really, really going to come into play when you're talking about a no-limit game. Okay, then I'm going to do something just for fun. I'm going to show you something. I'm going to give myself pocket aces. And then I'm going to give this guy a king and a 9 offsuit. Now, most of the time when you get aces, obviously, if you have them in a no-limit game, unless you're the Grano, usually if you're thinking about betting big or all in and that's the time to do it, you don't want them to have a cheap out so they can get lucky on the flop, turn, or river. You're wanting to knock them out as fast as you knock them all out as fast as you know how to do it. Okay? That's what you do in no limit. You still got to play your cards. But I'm going to show you something. I'm going to just do a pretend flop. Let's just say I went all in, or he, the king 9, all in to me. I didn't know he had a king 9, but I got aces, so obviously I'm going to go, okay, I'm putting my 10 grand in. So in that case, we'll burn one. We'll go 1, 2, 3, and we'll flop them. All right. So right now, I'm going to win right now, pair of aces. But this guy's got a 9, jack, king. He's 3 to the straight. Let's see what happens. Uh-oh. 9, jack, queen, king. I still only got aces. Now, let me tell you something, folks. This is why I hate no limit. This guy's sitting and got bullets and has had bullets from the get-go. King 9 offsuit. It goes against what I say. King 10, yeah. But to me, that's just not strong enough. But he all-in you. I mean, he all-in you. So you had to do it with aces, right? Now here comes the flop and the turn, and now he's one away from hitting a straight. I can't get a straight. The best I can do is 3 of a kind and pop an ace right here. Okay? That's all I can do. But if he gets that 10, then, I'm going to just keep shuffling these here. Because I don't want you thinking. Now, the aces should hold up. They just should. But you never know. So we'll burn one. All right. So the aces are going to end up winning. But this is just very well could have been a 10. And let me tell you what's heart-wrenching, folks. Okay? Let's say they burned one and they did that to you. 9, 10, jack. 9, 10, jack, queen, king. And it just stomped the shit out of those aces. And you just lost $10,000 or your entire bankroll. Okay? So it's easier, y'all, for me to tell you not to play no limit than try to teach you how to read everybody and how to teach you how to check and check raises and sucking people in. because this is going to happen a lot in No Limit, or they're making $500, bets. And obviously, if you have aces, you're going to do it. But I've seen aces get beat so many times. I've seen it. I've seen people sitting here and they got a 2-3 offsuit, the worst possible thing that they could have in the whole world. And then the next thing that you know, well, I can't just get random here, but anyway, let's say, look at this shit. Now, you have pocket aces. He's trying to bluff you, and he goes all in. And now he flops. Not only did he get a pair, but a 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got 4 to a straight. All he needs is an ace or a 6. And he's going to beat you with the 3-2. Are you kidding me? I mean, the question that you have to ask yourself is, do you actually want to get in to that world? I mean, is that what you want to do? You want to get into a world where you're in for all your money and the strongest hand. It ain't like it's a blackjack and nobody can beat you. You could get beat based on these 5 cards. It happens all the time. Learn one. Look at this. Now, I have an ace, 2, 4, 5. I can't make a straight. I have 3 aces. But this little puke, who all-in you on a 2-3 offsuit, got a perfect flop, turn, river. And this scumbag right here that has the worst hand in the whole freaking world got a straight and took you for all your money because he got lucky when he bluffed. So, bottom line, y'all, don't play No Limit. It ain't flipping worth it. Unless you're wanting to be a pro, and well, then you better learn a lot, and you're going to have to learn way more than I can teach you, because I'll never play No Limit. I'll never do it. All right, and those are just some of the reasons. All right, let's slip over into tournaments now. Tournament is way different. It is all in, but you're only risking $50, $100 or whatever your buy-in was for the tournament. Now you're playing for pride, and you're playing to get to the final table so you can cash in for money and make a little profit. Okay, tournaments are a really good time killer. I mean, you go in $50, $100, $200, play for hours if you're good enough, and maybe cash in for $300, $400, $500. Those type of tournaments are fun because you can't lose more than your initial buy-in. Because remember, you're going to buy it for $50, $100, $200, and then they'll give you $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in chips. And so everybody is on the equal. So everybody buys in for the same amount of dollars, $50, $100, $200, whatever the buy-in is. And then everybody say gets $15,000, $20,000 in chips. So the first time you sit at the table, and they may have 10 tables going, okay? Everybody at that moment is equal. Nobody can lean on anybody. Now it's just, here we go. Let's weed it down. All right? Now, what you're going to have there, now it goes back to this dealer thing now. You're going to have to play situational poker. You're going to have to play positional poker. But here's what you have to watch out for when you're playing tournament play. You're going to have these young guys, 21, 22, 25 years old, and they're going to be habitual all-in people. They just want to knock as many people out as they can and hope they get to the final table. And if they get their butt tore up, they lost $50 or $100, and they don't care. It ain't like it's $10,000 of their money. Are you with me? So they may have a 2, and a 7. And all in you. And you will, because you want to make it to the final table and you want to cash in, you may even have, let's say, a jack, and let's give you a jack and queen offsuit. I told you to stay on that. And in a cash game, you would definitely stay, and you would call his $2 or his $4. You got good cards. You're not afraid of him anymore. But by God, in a tournament, which is all in, and he all ins you on that, well, what are you going to do? All right? It's an okay hand, but it's not nothing to write home about. And if it's for everything and you're going to be out of the tournament, if this happens to you, I want you to play safe and just muck them. Okay? And let this idiot keep doing it. Because there are going to be a bunch of people that just like going all in. Let him do it, and sooner or later, somebody's going to have something good. They're going to catch him, and they'll knock his ass out. All right? But let somebody else knock him out. You just protect your money in that tournament until the time expires, and then you go to another table. So I still want you to play tight, but now you have to play a little bit more aggressive. So you know where I told you, you stay on anything to a jack 10. Remember in the cash game? All right, we're going to change that a little bit. All that still will hold true, but now what I will accept, because it's a tournament, let's say 8-9 of spades, 8-9 suited. Let's say it's even a 7-8 suited. You're in a tournament. You can't play ultra tight in a tournament, and here's why. All right, let's just say you're in a tournament and the blinds are 25 and 50. And about every 15 minutes, these are going to go up on you. Okay, so 15 minutes will go. They go, okay, boys, the next blind, now it's going to go to, say, 50, and 100. If you just try to be a bump on a pickle like you are in a cash game, these blinds will eventually bleed you out. Okay? So right now, I'm sitting over here, and the blinds just went up to $50 and $100. Well, by the time this button gets over here, and I am the little blind, and the big blinds to my left, now it could be 100, 200 is the blinds. Now I have to, okay? But if you play ultra tight in a tournament, you'll bleed on the small and big blind. You're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive. Not a whole lot. You don't have to be a whole lot more aggressive, but you're going to have to be a little bit more aggressive and, start staying on. This is still a decent hand, 7-8 of spades. But in a tournament, you're going to have to say, you may stay on that. Okay? And get to the flop. Because if you don't, then all these people that are stacking up their chips, everybody started out with $10,000, but you played safe in this tournament. Now they got 20, 25,000, and you're sitting with 8 or 9,000. Now they can lean on you. Now they can lean on you. Just like if you were playing no limit for real money, they can start leaning on you and making you have decisions you don't want to make. Okay? But now, don't get me wrong. Tournaments are fun because you're not spending a lot of money. As a matter of fact, I highly suggest that if there's anybody near a casino and they have poker, it's a great learning tool, cheap. It's a great learning tool, cheap. Probably your best freaking teacher. You go to the poker table at your local casino, get into a tournament, and make it a low tournament, $50 buy-in, okay? And start looking and seeing what's going to happen and start learning your way through tournaments and all-in bets, no limit bets, but you can only lose $50. Anybody can lose $50 and be okay with it. It's a valuable tool. Tournament, valuable tool to learn the more advanced ways to play. Okay? So you're still going to basically play like you do in a cash game, except you're going to be a little bit more aggressive. You don't fold quite so easily. You can't scare as easily in a tournament, because if you don't do something, they'll just lean on you and kill you anyway. So this is one of those, when you're doing a tournament, you sort of got to go out swinging on this one. But anyway, tournaments are a whole lot of fun, y'all. They really, really are. So I highly, highly recommend no limit tournaments for a very, very, very low buy-in. Okay? I'm sorry, this is probably not what you wanted. You probably wanted me to give you a whole list of cards to stay or not stay in, just like I did the cash game. But they're so different that I'm still going to use what I gave you yesterday as my baseline of what I do. I don't care if I'm in a 1-2 or no limit. It's still a baseline. I'm just telling you the whole mindset is different. The whole play is different when you get to no limit in tournaments. Okay? So, yes, play tournaments, cheap buy-ins, learn a lot for hardly any money. Stay away from no limit games. Pot limit max. Pot limit, man, you still, can be raised for lots of money. I recommend tournaments or small cash games to supplement your sports betting, your craps, your baccarat. Use this, as I taught you yesterday, along with tournaments to learn more, and you'll do a whole lot better than you ever have before. Stay away from no limit. All right, folks. Well, that's it for today. Just try to keep this a little bit short. If you got any questions, you go ahead and ask me. And I fixed the bug on my computer. I had a couple guys say they tried to get on my site, and at 4:01 errored them, but I had them fix that. I don't have any bets up for today. I probably will not have any up because there's no Thursday night game. I'm probably not going to have anything up till about Thursday night or Friday for the upcoming NFL, okay? But again, check my site every day. I may see a hockey game tonight that I want to play tomorrow. You just don't know, and I can't promise one thing, because if I'm not making a bet, as I told you in my live production, if I'm not making a bet, I'm not putting it out. And sometimes, I don't see a really good game until late, and then I decide to bet on it. But just check it every day. If there's nothing, don't be disappointed. I know there'll be stuff up there by Thursday night, probably Thursday night. I'll have whatever I'm going to do in the NFL. All right. So anyway, thanks a lot. Next video is going to be about tells. That's where we're going to have fun. How people lie, how people tell the truth, how they cover their lies, whatnot. We'll have some fun with that. That'll be very informative for you, I hope. I may do that one tomorrow. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you like it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Maybe consider subscribing. But the best thing that you can do for me is share this video. Share this video to anybody that you think my channel will help. So until the next time, y'all, be great.